Yeah, I wanted to welcome you on Sports Talk and the Success Table and get it rolling with how did you get involved with basketball as a kid, Mr. Duke University?
Um, well, give me a second. Man, I started playing in my neighborhood. It's funny. I watched. I remember when I was younger. I watched. Back then, the NBA didn't come on a lot of channels, and so it just used to come on CBS. And I remember as a young kid watching. I think it was the Sixers play with Dr. J, and it's towards the end of his career. And I just remember him, making a couple plays. And then I watched the Lakers play with Magic Johnson. And then it was like love at first sight. And so from there, man, I just started, because in St. Louis, baseball is really big. And so you got the Cardinals, they've won World Series. And so great history in baseball. And so basketball wasn't really a big thing. When I watched those first couple NBA games when I was like 7, 8 years old, I just took off. I was like, man, that seemed cool. And I was always tall for my size. And, I started playing on the playground at a very young age. And from there, just took off.
Heck yeah, man. With the big afro with Dr.
Nah, nah,
J.
nah, nah, nah. That was Dr. J had the nice cleaned up, bro. It wasn't the 70s, but it was, it was like mid 80s. So I was like 7 and 84, 85. Yeah, so around that time.
Definitely, man. Hey, tell my audience where you're at the moment. You have the pictures of the
Yeah,
Duke
bro.
Hall of
Yeah,
Famers there.
yeah. I'm just in our conference room, man. Our coach's conference room, and yeah, I'm just hanging out. Just hanging out, brother.
Heck yeah, man. So, with your first meeting with Duke when you were getting recruited by them, how did they stand out from other colleges to you?
Yeah. Well, they already had the history. So Coach K, they had won a couple of national championships back to back, 91, 92. The great players with Grant Hill, Leitner, Hurley, that crew, Brian Davis, Thomas Hill. So, and I was in high school and I wasn't really a big fan of Duke, to be honest with you. And so, you grew up in my neighborhood, it was the Fab Five, it was UNLV. And, but, you respected Duke. And then, it came down, I ended up taking a visit in October. I remember October 1995, and it was like 70 degrees outside. And I was like, man, this seemed like a cool place. Different from my upbringing, but a place where I felt like, this to be different, but I could fit in and become somebody. And, it came down between Duke and Syracuse, and Syracuse was cold in October. Duke was warm in October. And that's not the only reason why I made the decision, but I just felt that at that time, with Coach K, this is after the Grant Hill. This is post Grant Hill and Leitner and the really good teams. I felt like I had a chance to come in and play and have an impact.
Definitely, man. So, with the moments at Duke as a player, which one stands out to you, or which couple moments stand out to you?
Yeah, I think making it to the Final Four, beating Temple my junior year to make it to the Final Four, the East Regional, I think, in New Jersey, we beat them. That was fun. That was a big time memory. And then my entire senior year, because we lost a lot. We lost 4 guys to the NBA. First, they all were drafted in the first round. Elton Brand, who was the number 1 pick, Trajan Langdon, who was number 11, and you had Corey Maggette, who was 13, and Will Avery was 14. We lost the national championship that year in 99, but then coming back from my senior year, we lost a lot. So Shane Bettier, Nate James, and myself, along with Carlos Boozer, Jay Williams, and Dunleavy, a lot of people didn't think we would have a good year. And that year we won the ACC regular season title, ACC tournament championship, and we make it to the Sweet 16, go 29-5. And, that was my best year in college. I was player of the year in ACC, first team All-American. And so, but I looked back at, that summer, being like the best the hardest work I worked in the summer, and in turn I had my best year. And to do it with the team that we did it with after we lost so much, those two moments, going to the Final Four, then my entire senior year, because a lot of people didn't think we would be good and end up having, a heck of a year.
Definitely, man. So your transition from playing basketball to coaching, what has helped you transition to the coaching level of being an ACC coach for Duke University?
Yeah, I just I never thought I would get into coaching. To be honest with you, it's not something I want to do growing up. I was talking about this last night. I just thought, growing up, my basketball idol was Magic Johnson, and then my other idol, who I didn't even know at the time was an unbelievable basketball player, was Jerry West, and he was the GM of the Lakers. So he put the team together. So I thought that was the coolest thing. Like, he had Kareem, Magic, Worthy. Those guys were winning championships in the 80s. And so I was like, that'd be cool to put a team together. And so I wanted to be a GM. But then, sometimes what you want to do and what you end up doing, two different things. So, my coaching journey, I started off coaching in the D League. And then, from the D League, I was at Marquette for 4 years under Steve Wojciechowski, who was a teammate of mine at Duke. And then now, being back here for 4 years, it's been an incredible journey. I thought I would play basketball until I was 38, 39 years old. Never thought about coaching. I ended up retiring at 30, and now I've been coaching for like 11 years now. So it's been crazy, man, but it's been an unbelievable journey.
Definitely. You mentioned Magic Johnson, a transcending player in the NBA, and you guys coached Zion Williamson. His expectations coming into Duke were pretty high, but for coaching him, what was the expectations going into that first practice after recruiting him?
Yeah, well, Zion was, he was one of a kind, man, freak of nature. He's a special talent. And so, you combine Zion, that class was, the top-rated class, but they had some R.J. Barrett, who's the number 3 pick, Cam Reddish, who's the number 10 pick in this draft, and then Trey Jones, who's going to be in the NBA for a long time. That class was sick. But Zion was, he was just, he's freakish talent. But also he was the best teammate, and he worked really hard. He was in tip-top shape, which, I'd never been around the program since 96, 26 years. I saw the Leitner era, but, I wasn't part of it. But being a part of Duke since 1996, I never seen anything, the hype that surrounded Zion. The celebrities that we would have come to the games. It was the talk of the country, man. He was that big. He was that big. It was like, those guys were rock stars. They were rock stars, and he was the guy. He was the man, no doubt about it.
Yeah, man. So you mentioned the recruits, getting all those top recruits to Duke. With a revolving door of all these top recruits coming in to Duke, what is the hardest part about building team chemistry with all these top recruits coming in each year?
Yeah, no, that is the toughest thing. I think, it's hard, but Coach K has done the thing he does, one of the things he does best is he's a team builder. So he gets guys to sacrifice and put their ego aside for the betterment of the team. And that's not always easy, because everybody who comes in here are big-time players. So you telling guys who were stars in high school to come in and play a part, play a role. And that role could be, to score, or that role could be to defend, whatever. But, he does the best job of finding who fits together. Let's get these guys to play hard, play together, and then the end result to be something great. And, we play for championships here. So you don't always win, but you always have an opportunity because, Coach K does the best job of making sure these guys are playing for one another, playing for the name that's on the front of the jersey and not the name that's on the back of the jersey. And he got that's a talent in itself.
Heck yeah, man. So you mentioned the recruits. What is the recipe that Duke has that gets these guys out to Duke University coming to Durham?
Yeah, I think Zach, I think, you look at the brand, man. Guys are always on TV. We got the cool players now in the NBA, so they help it. So you see a guy like Kyrie, and Tatum, and Brandon Ingram, Zion, like all these guys, they help recruit us too. They help recruit as well because those younger guys, that's who they want to be like. And so they got to, where did they go to school? They went to Duke. Man, I want to be a part of that. And then we play in the big time games. The school, the university is incredible. So you get a kid on campus. We feel like if we can get a kid on campus, we got a great chance of getting them. And it's hard to turn us down. It's hard to turn us down because it's, you get both. You get the best of both worlds. You have an opportunity to get a great education, and also you have an opportunity to get educated on a basketball court.
Heck yeah, man. So with the upcoming recruits going to Durham, which one are you looking forward to coaching the most out of this coming up recruiting class?
Yeah. I'm looking forward to coaching all of them, man. They are, Lively, Whitehead, Filipowski, Shute, Reeves, Mitchell. These guys are talented. And they're all really good basketball players. And so I'm looking forward to coaching all of them, man. Like, just being a part of it because it's not, you get a number one recruiting class, it's hard. And so these guys are going to have to sacrifice, but they all want to sacrifice. And so to get them is huge. I'm looking forward to it. Excited.
Definitely, man. So I end on this one. What is your job when Duke is recruiting? What is your part to play into the recruiting process?
Yeah, we do it all. And so, when we get these kids on campus and you talk to these kids on the phone, like when they come to campus and you have a visit, all the coaches are really important, every one of them, because I could be talking to the dad and John Shire is talking to the mom and Emil Jefferson is talking to the kid. And before Nolan Smith left to go to Louisville, he would be doing the same thing. So we all kind of touch them. So the family, when these families come on a visit, they have to feel comfortable with the coaching staff. And so like the entire staff, if it's somebody on staff that they don't feel comfortable with, that could hurt you. But we've done a great job of making sure, like, just having fun on these visits, being ourselves. A lot of people don't know, like, we're kind of cool guys. And so they come on visit, you may be expecting one thing, and then now, like, man, I didn't think that it would be like that. So I think we all play a part. No one guy is above, like, we all do it. We all do it, and it's worked out. We kind of team recruit, right? We kind of gang recruiter, so to speak, and it's worked out for us.
Definitely. Well, Chris, it's been an honor to have you on Sports Talk and the Success Table. And this concludes our interview, sir, and it's been a blessing.